What's up, guys? Welcome back to the WCS America Challenger League, where we're watching players trying to get into the Premier League of Season 2. I'm axeltoss, joined by axslav. Currently watching Capoch versus Goswser. Both players are ready.
Let's do it.
They're tied 1-1.
That's right. You know, Goswser took down Hwansing 2-0 in the first round. So no problems with the Korean style of PVZ, but the Argentinian style, he's struggling a bit. that second map, Capoch really caught him off guard, tying the series up.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Like, imagine if that Overlord never actually went into Scout. I mean, the Warp Prism, like, how does it get across the map unseen? Because, again, it literally took Sentries attacking his third for Goswser to start making attacking units. So, you know, it's a situation where you're just scouting too late, and that happens. Oh my gosh. Capoch, what are you up to, my friend? All right, we'll talk about this in a second. Let me introduce the players really fast first. In the bottom right-hand location of Belshir Vestige, we have the Red Zerg player who said he would 2-0 Capoch. No big deal whatsoever. Now he finds himself tied 1-1. He's a loss away from being knocked down to the group stages. He is Goswser. And his opponent in the top left-hand location, going for Proxy Gates, it looks like. Your blue Protoss player from Argentina trying to get his advance on into the bracket stage, of course, into the next round of the bracket stage to face Nest-T, trying to do it in style here. He is Capoch. Talk to me, Nick.
So this is, of course, a proxy gateway Zealot rush coming out from Capoch. And one thing about this build, if the Zerg doesn't scout it and goes hatchery first, it can sometimes work depending on how good the Zerg is at microing their drones. To go pool first, the Zerg usually doesn't have too much of a problem defending it. The typical technique to defend this, of course, once you see the Zealots coming in, you start a Spine Crawler, you micro the drones, you try to surround the Zealot with the drones. Whichever drone the Zealot attacks, you retreat it so it can keep on mining. Once you get the Spine Crawler up, you of course are building Zerglings. Your first couple Zerglings you can just send straight to the Protoss main base to kill them. The rest you just keep rallying out to hold your defense. And once you kill the Prots back at the Protoss's base, they're not going to be able to make it more zealous and the game is over. But the tricky part comes in that drone micro.
Of course, you don't want to lose too many drones. If you lose too many, you're gonna straight up die. Now, this is an interesting build. This is something that we saw Naniwa do against Jaedong in DreamHack. I think it was the semifinals, so some people might be familiar with that. Of course, that was a Jaedong who went for that 15 hatch. Jaedong ended up losing that game, and that was the deciding game to push Naniwa on into the finals to face off against Leonok. But Goswser did go for that pool first. The question is, can he sniff out what's going on?
His Overlord has seen a lack of a Nexus or an early pilot, and of course, that doesn't really give away the build because it could just be a normal gateway expansion opening from Capoch. When the Overlord gets to the main, he's gonna know exactly what's going on, but in fact, the Zealot, first Zealot might actually give that away earlier. Zealot's gonna bypass the hatchery, go straight for the main base. Killing a natural is not what Capoch really wants. He needs to do a lot more damage than that.
There's the Zealot. Goswser now knows exactly what is happening. It is a proxy 2-gate, and Goswser knows that. Taking out the probe, building a Spine Crawler immediately in his main base, going to try to micro those weakenlings away from the Zealot. Sees the 2 additional Zealots, trying to take that guy out, but he's down to 4 HP and he stays alive. Goswser going to have to retreat. 6 more Lings in production. Keep in mind, this is so all in here from Capoch behind this. He is putting down a Cybernetics Core, but this is a pretty dangerous situation here for Capoch. Now, it's a little bit interesting. If he can start getting some Stalkers on the field, and he can kind of maneuver away from the spines, that could be a great move to try to take Goswser down.
Yeah, I'm very surprised Goswser didn't send those first 4 Zerglings straight across the map to basically kill all of Capoch's probes, as is.
Gosh, the Queen. Sorry. Go ahead.
He's actually going to move his spines. He's going to try to defend his natural, which is not the most common way of defending this build. Oh. He could actually lose this.
Oh gosh, the Spine Crawler not going to get targeted down. The Zealots trying to track down the Lings. And what's really to stop the Zealots from marching to the main base? He's going to try to target that Spine Crawler at the natural expansion. The Lings being pulled away, but Capoch turning around as well to engage. The Spine Crawler desperately trying to get rooted into the ground, but so many Zealots here in the natural expansion of Goswser. Capoch trying to take this game, trying to take this series with this 2-gate aggression. The Spine Crawler does go down, and still 4 Zealots alive in the natural expansion of Goswser.
I'm just so surprised he didn't send his Zerglings across the map. That's the standard counter to this build. Trying to defend a natural is very tough against the number of Zealots Capoch has, and we can see why. There's just too many Zealots, and everything he throws at him is getting torn to pieces.
Keep in mind the Cyber Core is done. Capoch is mining gas, so he has the ability to make Stalkers. The hatchery getting very low on health. Goswser does not want that natural expansion to die. He's already invested so much into trying to defend it. One Queen getting very low on health. He's going to get pulled back. Nice micro here from Goswser, but the Zealots are still alive. Still 6 Zealots here from Capoch. This could be a shocker in the WCS America Challenger League. Capoch up 35-21 in production. 2 additional gateways on the field. Only Queens and Zergling's speed just now started, but the Zealot count getting higher and higher. This could be the end of Goswser in the bracket stage of the Challenger League.
Oh man, he's lost his natural. And Capoch behind us has been taking up to Warp Gate. Normally, the Zerg can easily afford to lose a natural if it's early on and the speedings are counterattacking. But without a counterattack, Capoch, he actually has more probes than Goswser has drones. And he's got all these Zealots. The Goswser, no spine in the main. Of course, he moved that down to try to defend a natural. Without the spine core, he doesn't have a good answer to the Zealot count.
Oh, well, this has to be very frustrating here from Goswser. He knows he's behind. He knows what's going on. I mean, there's Zealots chilling at that ramp there, which is going to prevent any Lings from getting by. Stalkers are going to start arriving on the field again. No spines here. He's just going to go straight into the main with these Zealots. And Goswser, he's going to have to be so cost inefficient in dealing with these. This is almost an impossible situation here for Goswser.
He's trying to get as much of a surround as he can, even using the drones to fight off these Zealots. But even if he holds this off, Capoch has 4 Warp Gates behind us. His main is walled in. These Zealots, any damage they do is just icing on the cake.
Oh, look at the drone count. It's getting lower and lower, down to 5 Harvesters. Every Ling is gone. Goswser forced to GG, and Capoch takes the 2-1. Wow. Goswser was so confident he'd take the 2-0, but unable to react appropriately to that 2-gate aggression.
You know, that's a very old build that's not used anymore, because if the Zerg just sends their first 4 Zerglings across the map, the Protoss instantly loses. There's nothing the Protoss can do, which is why you don't see this build at the pro level. But Capoch saying, you know what? Goswser, his last 1,000 games, he's probably never seen this build. In a high-pressure situation, Game 3 like this, there's a high probability he won't react correctly. That's exactly what happened here. Goswser tried to just fight off the Zealots, defending the natural, moving the Spine Core down and moving the Queens down, and losing the Spine Core on Queens is a really big blow to a Zerg who's on such a low economy.
So again, the appropriate reaction that Goswser should have done is what? To kind of explain that to our viewers.
So he just needs to keep that Spine Core in his main. The first 4 to 6 Zerglings, you send them across the map. Every other Zergling in your main Queen, you just rally him. You just give up the natural. Who cares about that? Because the Protoss is dead. 6 Zerglings against 10 probes, or 11 to 13 probes they often have. But either way, the 6 Zerglings will end the game. Force the Protoss all in with a Spine Core and a Queen inside the mineral line. Plus, you've got probably about 10 to 14 more Zerglings that have been rallied out in that time. You should have no problem defending, and you just win the game.
Cheeky play there from Capoch, able to take the 2-1, which means he's going to advance to the next round of the bracket stage to play Nest for a spot into Premier League. Goswser is going to drop down to the group stages of the Challenger League. Again, in the group stages, there's 8 groups of 4. The top 2 advance to Premier. 3rd place advances to next season's Challenger League. 4th place is out of WCS America. Guys, stay tuned. Next up, we got Phoenix versus Top. You're watching the Challenger League of WCS America.